Welcome back, everyone. Please welcome our next company. We have Manganese X Energy Corp. It trades on the OTCQB under the symbol MNXXF, as well as on the TSX under the symbol MN. And its mission is to advance its Battery Hill project into production with the intent of supplying value-added materials to the lithium-ion battery and other alternative energy industries. Please welcome CEO Martin Kepman. Welcome, Martin.
Thank you very much. As CEO of Manganese X Energy Corp, I am very pleased to present an interview video from Pat Boland, who's a big star in Canada, to interview people and to give you the insights and the virtues of Manganese X. So I want you guys to sit back, relax, enjoy, and watch the video, and we'll be back in about 12 minutes, which the video takes, and open up the floors for questions and answers. So enjoy.
It's time for todaysstocks.com with host Pat Boland.
Joining me now is Martin Kepman. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Manganese X Energy Corporation. And Marty, a real pleasure to meet you. Can you give us a little bit of a background on your company? I believe it goes back to 2016.
Yes, we started in 2016. We had a vision in 2016. We were approached to purchase this property. It's a manganese property located in Woodstock, New Brunswick. It's a very, very interesting property. It's strategically located. It's 1,200 hectares, 54 claims, and it's manganese. And we saw this vision in manganese before a lot of other companies have, and it showed a lot of growth potential. We really believed that we were thinking ahead of the times, and that's why we chose the property in 2016.
Okay, so then you're already well along in terms of drill holes. What else are you doing on the exploration front?
Well, we just completed in February 28 holes at 5,400 meters, a drill program in preparation for our NI 43-101 resource estimate, which is very, very important. That really explains exactly how much tonnage we have, the gradage, in preparation of our PEA, which is a preliminary economic assessment coming up shortly. So it goes hand in hand, and we're very, very excited. We have spent a lot of money on the property, and in our exploration program, we've done 9,600 meters and 54 holes.
Okay, let's talk about the purity of your findings. And I believe they're in the order of 99.95%. That's pretty impressive. But what is the issue as far as purity, and why is that important? And then whether that's electric vehicle compliant.
Okay, that's a great question. First of all, it's very, very important that we achieve a very, very high purity rate. We have 99.95% purity, very low contaminants. It's very, very important that we achieve the low contaminant rate, because what we are producing is something called MnSO4, which is manganese sulfate, which is a precursor for the cathode. It's very important that the product goes into the cathode that's very, very pure, so it doesn't decay the cathode. One of our main products is this manganese sulfate, and there is no selenium in there. And 98% of most of the MnSO4 has selenium in it, which is toxic.
You touched on the PEA, the preliminary economic assessment. When is that actually due, and where does it stand?
Well, we just hired Wood, which is an international consulting and engineering company. We just announced it this week to be able to perform the PEA. And I just want to explain to your viewers what the PEA means. It's a preliminary economic assessment, which details the economic and commercialization viability of our end product, which is the manganese sulfate. So what they're going to do is they're going to basically cost the removal of our minerals from the ground till the end commercialization process, which is very important. So it goes right from the whole processes from from digging the product out of the ground to our final commercialization.
You're also doing a spin-off of Graphano, I mean. What exactly is involved there?
Well, that's a good question. What happened was we had a special shareholders meeting 2 weeks ago, and it was unanimously approved that we would spin off Graphano, which it's called Graphite Energy Corp, and the symbol is GEL. And we're going to announce the date, but for every 8 shares held by Manganese X shareholders, they're going to get 1 dividend of Graphano. This will be determined at a later date. Okay,
but what exactly is it that they're getting other than the shares? What's the mineral that's involved?
Yes, the mineral is graphite, and it's located in Lacobolia. It's called LAB project. It's a high flake, high purity project. As a matter of fact, I went up there and walked the property, and it's contiguous to Timtal Emirates, which is the only producing graphite North American company. And what they're doing is they're producing very high spherical graphite products at, like, I would say, about $16,000 a ton. So, matter of fact, when I went up there, their entrance is on our property. So it's very, very encouraging. Also, the world is becoming a shortage of graphite right now, and it's going to be very, very positive for that property.
You have a subsidiary called Disruptive Battery Corporation. What do they do?
That's a good question. I'll just give you a quick background of it. We have Disruptive Batteries 100% owned by Manganese X. It's a subsidiary. What we did was we formed that subsidiary to enhance shareholder value. And what's gone on was we wanted to bring in a battery project into Disruptive Battery. And lo and behold, we ran into this patent, this HVAC air disbursement patent, a delivery system. And we purchased it because we wanted to get we wanted to enhance shareholder value, but also we were looking for the green energy and the environmental situations, and it pertained to COVID-19. And we figured that would be a very, very viable project. So we started like that, and we needed some type of air mist to go into this U.S. patent. It was U.S. patent. And we did a lot of exploration of trying to find the right product. And we found a gentleman who was running Pure Biotics, and his name is Lino Morris, and he had an organic air mist that went into our HVAC system. So lo and behold, it was a marriage from heaven, and we just formed a joint venture, 50-50 with Pure Biotics and Lino Morris from Orlando, Florida.
Oh, that's the work I was reading about that. That's interesting. That's the work he's been doing at Virginia State, isn't it?
Exactly. What went on was that, so we did a lot of research on his product, and there was a lot of validations about his product, especially at specific hospitals. So what we wanted to do now, we want to validate the concept. So we engaged Virginia State, which is one of the most recognized universities in the States, to validate the product. And we're now doing a project working on biofilm, and the CDC claims that 80% of all infections are caused by biofilm or on biofilm. And we are now working a project where we're going to try to deconstruct the biofilm down to the microscopic edge to see if we can eliminate all the contaminations and all the pathogens on the biofilm right now. So we're working on that right now.
Marty, President Biden down in the United States had a lot to say about electric vehicles in his most recent statements about climate change, for instance. And given the area that you're working in on several fronts, never mind the COVID side of things, I'd love your comment on the president's approach to climate change and electric vehicles.
Well, it's a great topic because of the fact that As I said, we're a green company, environmental friendly. We want to be able to produce a product that will not have any carbon footprints. And it's great because he had this presidential executive where they were trying to work as a supply chain between Canada and the States. And manganese is one of the 35 critical elements that he mentioned. And it's a green mineral. So we're really excited about that. And the demand for manganese is growing on a daily basis. They have Tesla came up with this with the battery, the nickel manganese cobalt battery, where we had 10% manganese in it. And since September on Tesla Day, they've now eliminated cobalt because of the fact that it's very toxic, with the Congo, all this type, and it's very, very expensive. It's like $38,000 a ton as compared to manganese, which is $1,700 a ton. So now they've reduced they've eliminated cobalt, and now we have 33% manganese and 66% cobalt, which is very, very positive for us. And also it's giving the battery more density, more robustness, and longer traveling distance. So it's very exciting, and it's all green. So it's fantastic. And also manganese is also used in backup energy storage. So that's very positive.
Okay, but Marty, where does manganese actually come from? I mean, you mentioned that you've got your facility, but where does the rest of the manganese come from in the world? Do you have a competitive advantage because you're so close to the market?
Yes, well, we're trying to do this from North America, correct? We want to be the first company to commercialize manganese for Canada and the United States, but it's coming basically from China, Gabon, all over there, Australia, all over the world, but a lot from China. So we want to really get involved in the North American supply chain. And the United States is backing us 100% because they don't want to rely on any foreign products.
Marty, as I say, it sounds very exciting. Where can investors get more information, and where is the stock listed?
Okay, the stock, first of all, is listed on TSX Venture. It's on over-the-counter in the States, MNXXF, and we just got qualified. We're very excited to be on the OTCQB, and we're also listed on 4 or 5 exchanges in Europe. They can get information from our www.Manganese X Energy Corp, our website. They have all blogs. We have all information about our products, all our latest news releases, and you can also call me. My telephone number is on the website, and I personally take every call. I may not be able to answer them immediately, but I answer every call and respond to every shareholder's needs, because as far as I'm concerned, I want to know where our shareholders are and what their comments are and how we can enhance shareholder value.
Nice approach, Marty. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Martin Kepman is the Chief Executive Officer, Manganese X Energy Corporation, and as he says, give him a call.
All right. Thank you for that presentation, Martin. We do have a few questions. Would you like to get right into those questions?
Absolutely. Hit me with your best punch, guys.
All right. So is there a big difference in margins in your super high quality product versus a mainstream manganese product?
That's a very good question. We're developing a 99.95% high purity manganese sulfate, which caters to the EV and backup storage battery. Of course, there's going to be premiums in there because it's going to be used in the cathode, basically for EVs. And yes, there is a premium.
Great. When will you file your 331 quarterly report?
I don't know what, I'm sorry, I don't know what a 331 quarterly report is. We have financial statements, and we file our audited financial statements for March 31st, 2021 in July.
Okay, in July. Thank you. What is your path to production? Talk a little bit about your timeline.
Well, that's a good question. Okay, so presently, we're just completing our NI 43101 compliant resource estimate, which is very, very key. We are now progressing with something called a PEA, preliminary economic assessment, which determines whether we are economically and commercially viable to produce our products. That's a key factor. That makes or breaks the company. The PEA takes every cost involved from taking the minerals out of the soil into your final MNSO4 product, which is a powder. So we've hired Woods, which is one of the top-ranked world consulting companies, to do our PEA for credibility, and we're on our way and we're ready to go. We're just progressing well with it, and we're very excited because from early indications, it looks very positive.
Good. Talk about your last money raise. How much did you raise, and at what valuation was it done at?
The last money raise was at 33 cents, and I don't really recall. It was like, I think it was at $1.5 million. It was in February.
Someone's saying that they think you have 2.6 million in the bank. How long will that last? And when will you need to raise more funds?
We have more than that because we haven't really issued our March 31st financial statements yet because we have to have it audited, but there's a lot more than that in the bank. And we really do not want to raise any more money. We're right now financially well off to be able to finance all our projects. And we do not want to dilute the shares any longer. We want to enhance shareholder value.
Do you have an estimated production cost?
Right now, we hired the best consulting companies in the world, consultant company Woods. We started now working on it. We've done a preliminary estimate, costing X estimate, but it's too early to reveal, but it does show some very positive results.
So with a shortage of graphite, what industries do you think will hold the most demand?
Manganese, of course, because that's our main company, but well, it's very interesting because we did a lot of research on manganese, and we started our company in 2016. And with the invent of the EV battery, with the manganese, which is a third, and nickel 66%, and the reductions of the price for batteries, and the opening up of all the gigafactories, and so many things happening, I like manganese. I think manganese has great potential. In Germany, Volkswagen just is opening up 4 or 5 more gigafactories. They're all opening up all these factories, and it's really very encouraging for us.
Well, a few people really thank you for the explanation of manganese versus cobalt. Do you have any prospects for sales once you start production?
Interesting. We're talking about offtake deals. We have had already companies inquiring about our high purity product because we do not use selenium in our end product, which is manganese sulfite, which is very toxic, and 98% of all the MNSO4s have selenium in it. So it's giving us a big environmental advantage. So we're very excited about that. Yes, we've had 2 or 3 calls already and interest in our end product, but we're just waiting for our PEA to prove that it's cost effective and we can commercialize it.
Have you been approached by any majors, either in EV or rare earth companies? And if so, in what terms? We can't really say that yet, but we have been approached by some very large investment firms already. And again, we're just waiting and holding to justify our costs and to prove that our Battery Hill property is viable. So besides EV batteries, where do you see your product being used?
Backup storage. Backup storage is very, very important. And it's basically, we're concentrating right now in the EV milieu, EV battery milieu, and the backup storage. And we may develop other products down the line, but because of our high purity and what we've achieved, and very, very low contaminants, which some some companies have looked at it and are very, very encouraged. We're going to stick in that milieu right now.
Good. You want to talk a little bit more about the spinoff?
Griffon? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. We're spinning off Griffon. We're just waiting for the TSX venture to approve the spinoff, and I'll just talk about it very quickly. For every 8 shares Manganese X shareholders are holding at a specified date, they will receive 1 Griffon dividend. I've been up in that property. It's La Corbeille in Quebec. I actually walked it. I was very, very encouraged with the property because, believe it or not, there's the only producing graphite mine in North America called Timcal Emirates, and their entrance is on our property, and they're producing high quality graphite, and it's very positive. The early drill results are showing very positive things also there. So it's very, very encouraging for us to be able to give the shareholders a great spin-off company called Griffon. It's called GEL.
Good. Do you have a date for that when the shareholders can get benefits?
We are just waiting for TSX approval they're just waiting. We're waiting for it. And as soon as we get the approval, that's when it's going to be spun off.
Fantastic. Do you have any closing remarks you want to make, Martin?
Yes. And first of all, we started this company in 2016 with a vision of becoming the first Canadian or North American company to produce manganese. And we are getting closer and closer to commercialization. I've got a fantastic team, and we're really progressing well. And I really believe that what's going on with manganese, and BASF is even talking now about opening up a lithium-ion battery company in Canada and get government assistance. And it's just amazing what's going on with manganese now, and especially right now, to be a supplier in North America would be fantastic, because we're all the North American companies that are going to be coming in here will want to have a North American supply chain, and we're really perfectly fit to do that stuff. So we're very excited about that. And as I said to you before, and I repeat to the participants here, the people that are watching, that we are very excited to continue on, and we're really progressing well. And we're just waiting for our preliminary economic assessment. And we're happy. Also, just one more thing, we have a great metallurgical team where we are going to hopefully be filing for a provisional patent on our processes, because it's really showing something that's some processes in the metallurgical areas that are very positive and very economical and cost saving. So we're excited. We're really excited. And since I have a couple of more minutes, we have a 100% subsidiary of Manganese X called Disruptive Battery. And we also have a company that we just formed a joint venture called Pure Biotics, and that's an HVAC. It's an HVAC system. We have a patent on that, and we're tied up with a company called Pure Biotics in Orlando, and they have produced some very, very interesting organic products, and we are testing those products right now at Virginia State for HVAC and COVID-19. And early indications from our news releases show that we are starting to get some very positive results. So we're very excited about that, because that's another aspect of our company which we're very excited about. It's an HVAC system for bacteria and viruses, and to be able to prevent that from occurring within the air and on surfaces. So we're excited about that.
Good. Well, thank you so much, Martin. We really appreciate your presentation, and we want to follow up with all of your updates. So thank you.
Okay, you're more than welcome.
All right. It's been a great day so far. We've got more presentations coming up. Remember, when we transition to the next presenter, you're going to see a black screen for a moment, but we will be right back on within a few minutes. Thank you all for watching.